Okay, that's cool.
So what you're telling me is you're sitting there pirating music while we're in pre-show. Is that what you're telling me?
No, absolutely not. It's not pirated when you've actually paid for it.
I don't know. I'm going to have to ask the record companies about that. I don't think you could actually, buy it and then play it. I don't think you're allowed to do that. I think there's like
royalty-free music. I can do whatever I fucking want.
Oh,
as long as it fits in the license.
You haven't read the fine print. You haven't read the fine print.
Yeah. Is this the guy that went ahead and did the whole street thing talking to me about pirating IP? What?
We don't talk about the street. I don't know what you're talking about. No such thing exists. Even though it's behind me on a shelf. There might actually be people in the chat.
There are a couple of people in the chat.
I mean, I see things about, people talking and stuff like that. So, maybe there are people out there in the chat. We should, fine print, the devil's in the details. Well, after enough Taco Bell, the devil's also in other places.
Well, personally, who I don't see in the chat?
JR or V?
Are we looking for JR? I mean, are we ever looking for JR? He shows up. It's like the plague or something. The Black Death is here. Great.
Oh, that is so mean. My God.
That's okay. He could take it. Now I'm talking about Veronica.
Yeah.
Now,
we missed her a couple of live shows now.
This is like the 4th live show that she's missed, and she's always got these reasonable excuses like, I'm going to a bowling tournament. I'm going to a narration workshop. Now we're having the in-laws over for barbecue. I think that's all bullshit.
I think
it's all bullshit.
I think it is too.
She's in the kitchen right now baking again. She's fallen into the baking trap and she's listening to K-pop while she's doing it. That's what's happening.
God. Oh, the imagery. And she's dancing like we were earlier.
Yes, exactly. Exactly so. That song I sent you is the one that spawned me to think of that idea.
Oh, folks, we have a new intro. I mean,
God.
Terry and I are going to have to schedule putting it together, but we will have a new intro for this show, at least for the YouTube portion. It is going to be excellent. Excellent. We may only do it one episode, but it will be awesome.
Our hips can only take one episode.
Oh, my God. Okay, folks, it is Saturday. We are live with y'all. So, we have no idea what we're going to talk about yet. We'll figure it out. I'm sure there are lots of questions because Terry's been posting shit all over Facebook, Discord, and God only knows where else about the fact he's got 2 new freaking cats.
So I'm going to go ahead and lead off by stepping into the other room and bringing them in one at a time, so that you can be introduced to the new cats. Now, I've got to warn you, for anybody playing the drinking game at home, these are young kittens. They're too young for the drinking game. You have to not imbibe, okay? That's the way it works.
No imbibing.
Oh, look, the Black Death is here. I see him.
Oh, Lord. All right, so while he's getting his kittens, let me take this opportunity to say, hi, how y'all doing? The drinking starts early. Duh. Well, it's good to see y'all here again. Uh-oh. Holy crap. Even shadows. Drink. All you got was a tail. Uh-oh. You may get more than a tail this time. Nope. I've got my desk kind of configured so I can actually reach the keyboard, and it's in his way, and he's not pleased. Oh, so that's thing 1.
This is Cleopatra, or as Donna
she has
calls
a
her,
name.
Miss Cleo.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's what it is. You call me now.
Oh, I was about to say, she's psychic. What's going on there? Oh, look at that pretty.
She is 7 weeks old.
Girl. Look at that pretty girl.
She's just a little kitten. She likes playing. She likes exploring. I don't know who dropped her off to my friends in Seguin, but they caught her within a day of her being dropped off. So she's never really had to deal with the outdoors.
Oh, she's so pretty.
She is. Now I'm going to take her to her mama, and I will be right back with the other one.
Conspiracy theory, K-pop isn't real and is a plot by the powers that be to drive us insane. I wish I could say the same thing about polka and country western music, my 2 most hated genres of music, film. Yeah, it's been one of those days, folks. I need to start drinking earlier. anything happens. Wow. Drew, what kind of family do you have? Having the family over sounds like more like a reasonable excuse to vanish into a dark room and watch this instead. Terry and Paul are more sane. I've been to those family gatherings. The fact that we are still more sane than that particular situation, that's bad news for everybody involved. As Matt says, those of us who work in IT don't deal with the outdoors well either. That is so correct. Hey, Shadow, stop it. Shadow is currently trying to knock the other monitor off. I may have to kill him. This is him protesting the fact that I've got stuff in his way. He's very angry about it. I don't think that's fair to cats, dude. I don't think that's fair to cats. I don't think it's fair to cats at all. That's just me, though. Does this one have a name yet?
He is Leo.
Leo and Cleo.
Mm-hmm. They were found together, so it seems fair.
So is his full name Leonard?
No, just Leo. He was protective of the kitten. He was saving the kitten from the owls, taking it where it was safe. He was outside for a couple of 3 weeks. So he's a little bitey, a little chewy, but he's very friendly.
Friendly, bitey, chewy. Sounds like a kitten.
He plays rough is what it is. He's not biting out of anger. He's playing rough and gnawing on things.
Like your ear, your headphones, your eyelids.
My nose,
your
my
nose.
lip. But he's 4 months old and twice the weight of Cleo.
Yeah, what are you going to do with that cat?
You can bite me, boy.
Too many cats, Terry.
There's never too many cats. Now, I'm going to go stick him in the reloading room so he can play and eat, and then I'll be right back.
All right. Well, folks, I do have something to show off, which nobody really has seen in the public. So a few of you have seen it probably, but I'm going to go ahead and show this off. That is the trade paperback cover for the second edition of The Black, which I'm taking or will be taking orders for signed editions soon. But I just wanted to show off this cover because Scott Pond just killed himself making this. I had no idea he was going to go this far balls to the wall on it. And man, I can't wait to see what the rest of the covers are going to look like for this series. I think the full color really pops it. And I just cannot wait. I cannot wait to get this book out there again. I'm so excited. So now you've seen that. I'll probably put out a public announcement about it sometime later this weekend, but not today. There's hockey tonight. I don't know, Matt. I don't know what his plan is yet. I don't know what he's got planned for Arrival. We haven't even started talking about it. Thankfully, my patrons, whether they knew it or not, footed the bill for all the artwork. So thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to get that book out there. I really am. We'll see how the audio turns out. And I'm sure it'll be fantastic and put my skills to shame, but should be good to go. So that's what I've been doing this week, is getting all this stuff ready. I had not put together a Amazon trade paperback, all that mess in so long. And not much has changed really, but getting rid of, I haven't been on there since CreateSpace went away. That's the last time I went to work on a trade paperback. Drink. This is rare. This is really rare.
I want to be on the podcast with the kitties too.
Like I said, he's mad because I've got his keyboard in the way. So I've been working on that stuff and getting some writing done. That's what I've been doing. Terry has obviously been playing with cats. What else have you been doing besides playing with cats?
Dealing with the chaos. Those of you in live shows probably haven't heard that another one of our cats passed away a week ago. So that's 3 in 2 months, which is hard. And the next day we picked up Cleo. And then a week later, like 3 days later.
Yeah,
we
3 days later.
Well, you know, that live trap I picked up came in handy, caught it right out the bat.
I'm sure it did. It obviously works. So I need to get you up here to catch a few possum, raccoons, and other varmints that are running through my yard, because you obviously know what you're doing.
Well, as a matter of fact, when I was a kid, my dad had a lot of rural property, and he did hunt for pelts, and I was involved with that. So as a matter of fact, I do have a very lot of experience using live traps and baiting it to catch critters.
You know, people think I'm the serial killer in waiting. I'm pretty sure you have a better idea how to flay a human being than I do.
I may have skinned more creatures than you, yes.
I'm pretty sure since I've skinned none, that would be correct. Oh, Lord. So fate giveth back.
Yep. And another friend of mine in San Antonio found a pair of abandoned 3-week-old kittens in a cardboard box in a parking lot. And he is nursing them back to health. He can't keep them because of his work.
Oh no.
So when they're fit to travel, if they are still with us, because young kittens, they are prone to passing away. If they make it all the way through, then I'll take possession of them. If you're raising one kitten, raising 3 or 4 is not much of a difference between raising 2.
But
so
then they grow
in
up.
for a penny, in for a pound.
Okay, listeners, we need to have a fucking intervention at some point. There's not even gonna be room in this house for humans.
Well, now you're not thinking this through, all right?
Yes, I am. You're hoarding cats. There's like a finite cat supply.
In the last 2 months, we've lost 3 cats.
I know. I'm giving
Screamer is most likely not going to be here long term either. She's 18 and a half years old. So while we may be maintaining the number of cats, we're not adding to the number of cats.
Yet. But I know you.
You do know me. If one shows up on my door and needs help, I don't say no. It's true.
Oh, God. Such a soft touch. And the rest of the humans are just grumpy old fart.
You know, it's a good thing that my wife and I live alone, because we don't have to deal with humans. We could deal with cats.
Yeah, the fact that cats deal with you better than humans is also a little concerning, but, you know, I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing. Did you get anything done on writing front?
Not today, but a little bit over the last couple of weeks. Not a lot. Oh boy. Can you hear that?
It's kind of hard to miss, dude.
That is Leo under the door of the gun room telling me that he would like me to come back in and play with him.
Of course. Of course. Because he's a kitten.
And he was outside for 3 months or 3 weeks.
That too.
So he's got a little bit of, impulse control. He doesn't want to be alone.
I don't believe it. Oh. Pimp his sket? What?
I've got a book coming out tomorrow.
Oh. See, I'm glad somebody knows these things, because I sure as shit don't.
I was JN Cheney and I were supposed to go on JR's podcast, but I had to cancel because I just had nothing in me. I was emotionally dead. I had nothing.
Okay.
So I have not yet rescheduled it.
Gotcha. I haven't scheduled.
It'll be soon though. I'm back on an even keel now, so I can do it.
I haven't reached out to anybody yet about anything. And I've got this is my 3rd book this year. Is this right?
Let's discuss marketing and your lack thereof.
My lack of marketing. Well, let's see. That's another thing I did this week. I got YouTube trailer together for Station 3 because somebody yelled at me about that I didn't have a promo for it. I got that done last night. I think it looks pretty good. It does what it needs to do. Probably needs some more work, but fuck it. And then I actually went up there and looked at how to do ads, Amazon ads, and I was horrified, absolutely horrified. The very idea is terrifying. So I did some of that, and also did some other stuff with trying to get things ready for the black. I'm basically I'm trying to promote 2 books right now. One of them's actually, they're both kind of stealth, but I can't really promote the black until I have a firm date. Because right now there are some things that are in flux that are annoying the shit out of me, Audible being one of them. Trying to get a book removed from Audible is a fucking pain in the ass. Because once you communicate that you want this book gone, then they say, well, we forwarded it to our team. It may take, 1 to 3 weeks. It's very simple, assholes. You press a button and it's no longer available for sale. I don't understand why this is an issue. I really don't. It's basically they want to fuck you until the next pay period, I think, personally. But that's some bullshit. So I got to wait till they get all 3 books out of there before I can give Fireside Audio the high sign to go ahead and release their shit. And then I'm still waiting on my the publisher of the black to release the black and get it off Amazon, and that has not happened either. So that's the date is kind of funny on me because of that whole release, and it's kind of complicating how I do things. Because I want it. The good thing is it gives me a chance to schedule, funnily enough, some things to do between now and then, so that when it is ready, that I have stuff to go. So for instance, adding a promo to my Amazon page for the black, adding an overview of the series. I now have all that garbage you could do with the author page stuff. I can't remember what I called it. I brought it up on the Discord the other day. There's some things I can do there, and I can work with Pondy on some ideas of what I should lay out and his thoughts on that, make it pretty, and put YouTube videos up there and link them into that. So I'm going to be doing something more than other people are doing. I don't know if it's going to do anything for me. We'll have to see. I still am considering, depending on how much money I have available next month, to buy some ad space for the black. Obviously, me promoting Station 3 doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I probably should. But I'm hoping the black will just bring that back up. We'll see. Depends on whether or not the black busts. It always could. It always could.
I've got a Romeo in my lap.
I know. I saw that. So was that cat number? We're going to call it 2.
I had to give him some food so that I could have, the space to put the kitten into his feeding room. It's a morning juggle because he's diabetic. He has a restricted diet. So he only gets fed twice a day. And the only applicable room to put the kitten in is his room. He wants to go in there.
Gotcha. I was not aware of this. Sket is YouTube friendly for shit without getting weird on the spelling. And yet you were able to say shit. I'm not even going to go that.
No. It's Sket is like scat. Change that E to an A and let's just get that thing rolling.
Yeah. You have to come on to talk about your scat. What? It's time for the next chapter in Paul's saga of fuck Amazon. Well, it's always ready for the next chapter of that. Thank you very much.
And yet he's going to become Jeff Bezos's towel boy by buying some Amazon ads.
No. So since the black release, the audiobook will be exclusive with Audible for 3 months. I'm probably going to go ahead and make the ebook. Do the same thing with the ebook for the first 3 months to go along with it, and then do the general release. Patrons, on the other hand, that's a whole new thing. Oh, well, never mind then. I can't read. I don't have my glasses on. I don't know what else to do other than that.
You do what you can.
I mean, that's pretty much what I can do, other than I need to reach out to some people like Ed Lorne and folks like J.R. Handley and see if they'll have me on their shows to talk about this stuff and everything else. it just feels weird because we're doing a second edition and it's a re-release. And so it's like the people who already know what it is are just kind of going like, all right, fine, I get to buy it again. Thanks. But hopefully that will kind of prime things because I want people kind of talking
Did
about it.
you update it any?
Yeah.
Did you
It's been
add new
updated.
scenes?
No.
See, if you'd updated it and add new scenes, you could call it a second edition.
It is a second edition because I went in and I changed, I fixed the confusion with names. I did all that. I cleaned up a bunch of the text. I made a distinction between Red and the other Red. There were two Reds. They're not both named Red, but there were two red-haired guys, and everybody got confused by that. I fixed that and did a couple other things in there. But yeah, it's basically the same book. There's no new scenes, nothing like that. I may have changed a couple lines of dialogue too. I can't remember. There were a few things I did before I handed it off to Red Adept. So we'll see how all that works out. But so we are calling it a second edition.
Okay. How was your experience with Red Adept?
Red Adept was great. I guess it did take about 4 or 5 weeks from the query to getting it back. And they did a great job. The person who reviewed it gave me a blurb I could use, which I didn't use. But you know, I thought the service and the comments and everything else that were in the manuscript that they ripped apart were excellent. I didn't agree with all the commas.
No one ever does.
No one ever does. We had that discussion on last week's episode or the weekend before that. I can't remember. But yeah, it's funny how that works. But that was a good experience. I can see why you use them.
Yeah,
So,
I've never had a problem with their services, and I didn't expect you were waiting a little bit to make it happen, but it's worthwhile.
yeah, I'm probably going to send them a rival because I don't have to get a rival together for Pondy for another 2.5 months, basically 3 months actually. So I'll probably go ahead and send it to them while I work on Outbreak and get it ready to send to them because that one I definitely want them to edit because I think Sever Press and I did a shit job on it. So I want to give them another chance to go through it. But I need to go up in there and clean up some things like I did with the Rivals. So basically, all of these things are going to be second editions. All three books, all 3 published books. Obviously, Evolution, Oceania, and Extinction. When it comes out, all 3 of those will be first editions. But you know, whatever. No. It is not a sentient Browning M250 caliber machine gun. No. We're not doing that. Nor is it
this one.
Nor is it that. Nor is it an Apple M2. Leave me the fuck alone. I came up with this shit first, even before Browning.
Oh, I don't think so.
It's the M2 Trench. Leave me alone. Jerks. Why is everybody a jerk? So that's what I've got going on. That's what I'm doing. What else is there to do?
Try to find the right balance to produce and not get overwhelmed. Which brings me to my question for you, Paul. How the hell can you set reasonable goals? What the fuck is a reasonable goal?
You mean for me personally right now?
Well, I'm speaking in general.
Oh my God. My goal is basically not to completely loathe myself and feel like I've accomplished something at the end of every day because it just seems like it keeps going and going and going, and it's an elephant I can't eat, even
And
one
yet,
bite at a time.
At the end of every day, your cat sits there judging you.
Yes, and every day the cat just sits there and going,
"You wrote like shit today, or you recorded like shit today. You're absolute shit."
That's what he's there for.
Pet me.
He's my motivational rescue. What do they call him?
Support.
Yeah, support cat. There we go. Yeah, really good at his job. Let me tell you. Oh boy, I gave myself this week, for instance, permission not to write. I had to give myself permission last week too, because of all the garbage I had to get done. And I still managed to eke some words out. It just meant that I wasn't counting on getting any words done. So anything I got from that was wonderful. Next week, not so much. Next week, I got to bear down so I can finish or get close to the end of Oceania, but I still have all this other shit to do. So, goal. I am done with the majority stuff for the Black. I am done with the majority of the stuff for Station 3, apart from recording the podcasts and all of that. So my only 2 jobs, mainly, and I'm pretty much caught up on DRS. My only 2 jobs this week coming up is to write Oceania and record Oceania. Now we'll see how well that works, but that is my goal for next week. And it's a reasonable goal. I am not going to finish Oceania next week. I am not going to finish recording Oceania next week. That would be insane. That is a bad goal. I know what I can accomplish, and I'm not going to give myself a word count. I'm not going to give myself a episode count I got to get through. I'm just going to get as much of it as I can knocked out. And wherever I get done, I get done. But that said, the moment I get the high sign from everybody involved in the Black re-release to commit to a date or do what they've been asked to do, then I have to get rolling on that, because I have to get all my ducks in a row and try and organize some promo stuff and maybe get on some people's radar. I'm going to have to get that done. It's just got to happen. So, but then I'll be able to schedule it, because I can say, hey, the book's out. You know, it's been out for 2 weeks. It's doing this, blah, 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 and we can talk about it. Those are my goals for this week or next week. Do I make monthly goals? Fuck no, because things are so messed up that with my health and everything else that I kind of have to, I know what I have to get done or what I have to give myself permission to get done and expectations of what I need to get done. Because otherwise I will be broiled in depressive OCD-ness and loathing myself every minute more that I'm not getting stuff done. So I'm not going to do that.
One of the problems for me is it seems like it would be easy to go ahead and write quickly and get it all done, get a lot of things done at once. And narrating, I can put out a lot of words in there. Then I have to go back through it and give it at least one editing pass to fix the things that are introduced. Could I write faster with the keyboard? I still don't think so, because I'm a shit typer. So yeah, that doesn't work out for me. So it's still faster, but even though it only takes me, say, an hour to go ahead and do something like 5,000 words, you say, oh, that's great. You know, you can knock off 5,000 words in a day. Oh, you can edit that too. Yeah, that doesn't ever work out for me that way. I've got other things that I do around the house. It seems like I can create for a certain short amount of time, and then I have to stop and let my brain cool off. So I have the chess timer that I use, and I've been playing around with 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 20 minutes. I think I've got it set at 25 minutes at a sprint right now, because I could still get a couple of them done and have like 4,000 words. And then by the time I'm all done with it, I've also got to do a Grammarly check to have it find all the things my eyes don't see, because I use it as a guideline of going through. Oh yeah, I left out a word. That doesn't make any sense. Let me put this other word in here. And sometimes it'll suggest a word that I agree with. It's like, okay, yeah, this other word, that sounds like it could work better. But I have to look at all the suggestions because I want to see them. I paid for the damn product. I want to see what it's going to say. I figure at this point, if I can get 4,000 basically first pass done words in a day, I'm doing well. I originally was trying to get 6,000 or 5,000, and it's just a little bit too much beyond me, even with doing it quickly.
Yeah, our writing processes are so radically different from one another.
Everybody's writing process is different. No one is the same.
I am doing the Brandon Sanderson approach. I am writing like in 300-400 word sprints. sometimes only 100 words before I get distracted by something else I have to do. But like I said on last week's episode that they haven't seen yet, I'm doing that all day, and I'm getting the discipline to come back. And that's the big part. Come back to the keyboard. So if I have to get up and take the dog out or I go for a walk or whatever, then I come back and the words are still waiting for me to do something. You know, the cursor's blinking and the brain looks at the last sentence and goes, "Oh yeah, we're doing this. Let's go do that again." Those little breaks also give my head time to cool off and give me a chance to say, like you were saying, cooling off rather, that whether or not that last scene or portion of a scene really made sense. And 90% of the time, my brain finally goes, "Yeah, that's fine. You're cool." Another 10%, I have to go look back at it.
Chris says, NASA didn't require me to be a good typist. The answer is hell no. They didn't care about my typing. Not how fast it was anyway.
And coders don't give a shit really about their typing speed either. They're writing code. You can't type really, really, really fast if you're having to constantly put symbols in and everything else. I mean, you can. I do it, but it's rough. It's tougher. Plus, you know, you got to remember, Terry's old enough that you know, he grew up on punch cards. There was no
Someone
keyboard.
knows you, Paul.
For a second, I thought Paul was going to. No more of those. Thank you. Although I have to say, Oceania seems to be trying to get there.
So what are we at now? 300,000 words, and you still haven't gotten to the island?
We're 78,000, and we're still not the fucking island.
You know, for those that are not paying any attention or that just haven't caught up in the show, every week is the saga of they haven't got to the island yet. How many words has Paul gone and still they haven't gotten to the island?
Oh my God. Well, I've got no choice now. I've set it up. It's going to go boom by 2 chapters from now.
I think that Paul is wrong. I believe they will never get to the island.
I've got plot constipation, folks. Or maybe it's arc constipation. I don't know. But yeah, I may actually have to go back. Well, okay. Before this thing is published, because it's been done as a serial, I'm going to go back and make some major effing changes in here because there's some things I love that can be chopped a little bit. There's some extraneous crap that needs to come out of here because it's the first time I've ever done a serial. So I effed up all over the place. By not rereading chapters and getting, Anyway, so when I finish this thing for various values of finished, and before it's published, I'm going to have to go through it with a fine-tooth comb and probably rewrite quite a bit of it. There's a joke here about writing a book on procrastination, but I just can't get around to it. Yep. Exactly. But see, if you go to the keyboard and you just type down 100 words, you got 100 words you didn't have before.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to sit there for 3 or 4 hours and bleed all over the digital page. Just go bleed for 100, 150 word chunks. It's working for me anyway.
And
it's working.
When I was working at NASA and I had a break and I could write something on my phone, I would, and it would be in chunks like that, and it worked just fine. When I'm doing it professionally, by the time I'm all said and done with all the morning stuff now, it used to be that I'd be up here by 9 o'clock. With the kittens here, that's taking another hour to deal with all of the various things, medicating cats and doing other things. So say I'm sitting here by 10 o'clock, getting things rolling, and I want to be wrapped up by 4 or 5 for dinner. So I'm spending 6-ish hours working, but if you look at how much time I'm actually doing things, it's only maybe an hour, hour and a half. So obviously I need to focus a little bit better.
Yeah, probably. Because I have to split my time between getting the podcast, the video, YouTube. I mean, I'm running 2 podcasts simultaneously right now. One that's a serial, one that's not. One I shouldn't have to really do much besides crunch out videos and shit like that. But that takes time. That does take time away. So like Friday is podcast day. That's been the deal. But the black should be my sole focus right now. Hasn't been, it needs to be. So here we are. So I'm going to be focusing really hard, but guess what? There's shit I got to do. There's errands I didn't get done last week. I had to finally fucking do them. There's pet stuff I had to take care of. Had to fucking finally do it. There's cleaning, there's cooking, there's taking care of the yard, there's taking care of the house.
And
there's
all of those things are in my wheelhouse too.
Exactly.
I have a wife that's disabled, and so I get to play doing a lot of other things besides writing. So I've got to balance the real world against my creative world.
Right.
And trying to produce it. I can't just say, I will now get into my writing cabin and take in the Zen, and nothing will disturb me as I create the words. No, that's not how it works.
What's sad is there's all these people here who have day jobs and they're cursing us.
Here's a clue for you, folks. Here's a clue for you, folks. I was more productive writing when I had a day job than when I did, at least for the first few years. And it's still a struggle.
Yeah, because there's always something to be done. But the
time management is a thing.
Time management, absolutely. But it's working for me again. And so
if I was Kevin J. Anderson, I'd just go walk on a mountain somewhere and dictate what I want to have sent off to somebody to type up for me.
It must be nice to have minions, Well, he doesn't have minions. He pays people. They're like contract employees.
They're contract minions.
Contracted minions. Wait a minute. This sounds too close to a Joss Whedon movie that was really, really good. Cabin in the Woods. What a fantastic flick.
I heard your cat talk to you.
Oh yeah, he's here. He's very much pissed about the fact that I've got my keyboard in his way. So I'm moving the keyboard, and now we'll see what he does. He'll probably come into my lap and sit on the keyboard. Probably.
Duh.
Because that's what he does.
But one of the things that I was talking about with setting reasonable goals is I'm always playing with trying to find that sweet spot for I can set the timer and sit down and write for X amount of minutes, get up, have a cup of coffee, and do it again.
Yeah.
Because if I can do 2 sets in short order, then that's most of my creative work day, and the rest of it's cleanup.
Yeah, I haven't been writing in the morning. I've been writing in the afternoons and evenings lately.
I know some people that write at night. They don't start till like 11 p.m.
Yeah, I'm also going to bed earlier, which makes no goddamn sense. I've been, in case you can't tell, my voice is really trash. This has not been a good week for me breathing wise at all. So anyway, I had to change my schedule a little bit because now I had all this stuff in the morning. Like I had fiber installed. Yay! I can stream, motherfuckers. So I got the
maybe
fiber.
Now we won't get the Vaseline screen.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Well, yeah, you've had fiber for how many months, and you still get the Vaseline screen. I don't want to.
Yeah, it's my damn computer.
We know.
We'll see about fixing that at the end of the month if I can.
We know. So mornings have been difficult, and they used to be the time of day I was really productive. I don't know what changed, but it has changed. It's weird. But I'm still doing the writing thing. I'll go 400 or 500 words. Dog comes bug me. Go spend 15 minutes taking care of the dog stuff and come back, write for another 10, 15 minutes before I get distracted by something else I got to handle. And this week I had so much correspondence to deal with. I haven't had to deal with correspondence in a long time. And there's been a lot of it this week. It's been crazy. But getting refocused on the writing, it's just small chunks throughout the day. And by the end of it, you end up with 2,000 words if you keep doing it right. So that's the way it works. Oh, I'm an insomniac, so I tend to get my writing in around 3 a.m. to 4:30 a.m.
Yikes. Yep. One of those folks that write at night. Yeah. When I was a kid, I wanted to be an astronomer, and then I discovered I liked sleeping.
Well, there is that. How is Luna? Luna is fine. She's somewhere out there. I think she's hanging with her moms. For some reason, she doesn't like it when I'm podcasting. She'll occasionally come in, but like if I'm recording or narrating, she leaves the room immediately. It's like, you suck.
I can't nap with you in here doing all that shit.
can't stand the sound of your voice, Dad. Shut up.
Yeah, that would be Shadow. That would be Shadow, because that's what he does. Because he's a jerk. He's a total jerk. So long-term goals, a black release every quarter. Every quarter.
That's a good goal to have. I can't have long-term goals because I have to focus on the short-term goals. If I take care of the short-term goals, the long-term goals happen themselves.
Right. That's the long-term goal is a black book every quarter, which means I have to get this one done so I can go work on evolution before I go back to work on extinction. And then circle around back to get this one ready for publishing. Those are my long-term goals right now, and that's it. I'm more productive when I'm trying to get ready for bed. There's something to be said to wandering to the computer when you're really tired and writing, because usually the left side of your brain is so stupefied that your right side of your brain is going, "Hey, you know what? I've got a moment. Can we play? You want to play?" And I've done that before too. It's like you're really, really tired, but I get in front of the keyboard, and unfortunately, sometimes I end up not getting back off the keyboard for an hour, and then I'm really tired. But it's good tired. Whenever it strikes you, man, you gotta get there when you can. You just got to force the moments and not wait for them to happen. But I think if you get in the routine, they'll just happen.
One of the problems that I have with producing lots of words quickly is that as a pantser, sometimes I have to let the idea of what I've just written stew a little bit, and just a short period of time to go ahead and say, "Oh, here's what I'm doing next," because I can write in those little short sprints and make it happen, but I've got to have what I've just done decompress a little bit to know what I'm doing next.
Man, that's been a problem with the serial. Because I don't have time for that shit, which is why I'm going to have to go back and really fix this book when it's over with. Well, maybe not that bad, but it was so bad. All my ideas seem to come just after I've got ready for bed, laid down, turn off the light. Welcome to my world too. I'm also there.
That's why I've got a notepad that I can go ahead and jot down my idea and look at it in the morning and go, "What the fuck does that even mean?"
I do that every morning too. Yeah, I look at that. Oh yeah, and then the analytical part of the brain looks at what I did the previous night and goes, "What?"
Yeah,
I had those moments too. I can't remember what word it was. I used a word in some sentence, and the next morning I came back to it and went, "What the fuck was I trying to say?"
See, now here's the greatest practical joke somebody could pull on you, Paul.
Oh no.
You've gone ahead and you've done whatever you're going to do. You hit the sack, whatnot. And then Carrie comes in the middle of the night and writes out half of another scene that you have no idea what it is, and leaves it there. And you get up the next morning and go, "Where the hell did this come from?"
There's a reason I lock my computer or put it to sleep at night. Because I've seen what this little shit, he's currently under the monitor, what he does. Because he gets bored and goes, "I wonder what's in Dad's drawer I can reach." So I came in one morning and I found luckily I had it open to a terminal window, and there was like 55 spaces and a period. And I was like, "Oh, what was he doing?" I don't know how he did it, but he did it. It just is crazy. Let's see. Drew says, because of the mess of the last 2 years, writing for me is like the old beat up first car. It's hard to get going, so I take advantage of it for the short random times the engine decides to run.
Maybe instead of trying to up the amount of time that I can do on a sprint, I should decrease the amount of time I'm trying to do on a sprint.
That might actually be helpful.
Maybe I should try for 15 minutes of writing and then do something, and then do 15 minutes more of writing, and then go do something. Maybe that would work better.
I don't force my sprints to end. They end when they end. And sometimes, like I said, sometimes they're only 5 minutes because that's all the time I have. Before I get distracted by something else. There's just been a lot of crazy things going on last months. And, You know, the older you get, there are more things you have to deal with. And the older you get, there are other responsibilities that come into that mess too. So they got to get taken care of, and they're getting taken care of.
Or, you know, you're like one of those old writers that has their weird traditions that they have to do. They can't write until they sharpen their favorite pencil.
I am not that person. I am so not that person. Yeah, there's no magic hour. You know what the magic hour is?
I can only write with my writing socks on.
Now I have to buy you some writing socks. I don't know where the fuck I'll find those, but I have to.
Speaking of socks, totally unrelated to writing socks, my wife bought a pair of socks that have like toes on them.
Okay.
And I saw her walking around in those. I was like, what?
I have them. They're awesome. They're awesome. Actually, you know, our shoes and our socks are so dumb because our toes would be so much happier if they were actually in their own slots. I had toe shoes for a while. I liked them. I just wore out and I had never replaced them because they were expensive.
First time I saw her with those socks on, I was like, I had no idea.
That's kind of how I felt when my sister-in-law came to live with us, and everything she had was toe socks. And I took them out of the dryer and like, what the hell is this thing? It was funny. And only you're writing socks on. Yeah, baby. I'm yeah. Birthday suit.
It's time to get to the spicy part of the scene. Let me slather some barbecue sauce on myself to write the spicy parts.
Okay, so when you're done, do you put a flamethrower to the chair, just get a new one, or do you just kind of like sit in the crust for the rest of your life?
I take care of my chair.
I can see that. That's a great chair. It's in perfect shape. I don't know what you're talking about.
It still works. I'm going to keep using the bitch until it dies.
Oh, this is going to be funny. Drews asks, related to the writing rituals, do you ever find a nice pen that just writes perfectly, but it's an advertising pen that has no brand marks on it anywhere, so you'll never find another one? I've never had that happen. Never.
You know, that sounds oddly specific.
It does sound oddly specific, but now I have to. I'm going to have to keep that.
I've had a couple of pens that were really nice pens that I would have used if I actually write longhand. However, even though I learned to write with cursive, my handwriting is so bad that I have to write with letters as opposed to cursive because I am incomprehensible.
Yeah, I can read my writing sort of, but nobody else has a chance in hell, which is why I'm not a big card person. Because everything looks like shit and it will have to be translated. So I just gave up.
A bunch of pens back there. I know I've got a few decent ones around that work really well. In point of fact, if I was writing, the one I found at NASA that I use are these.
Yeah, I got those.
Gel tip pens, and they're great. I love them.
Still not legible.
I did spend an inordinate amount of money to go ahead and buy a set of those, one in each color that they made available, just because I wanted to see.
Oh, God.
I still have most of them, although I ran one of them out.
Drew says, I'm going through it right now. It's a work pen. I'm tempted to email corporate and ask if they have a box of them lying around, or at least can give you the brand.
Yeah, you should. I mean, what's it hurt? Send them a note.
I read an interesting article on The Verge or something like that talked about how ballpoint pens ruined cursive.
I can believe that.
I could too once I thought about it. The reasoning was the point is not nearly as fine, and then on top of that, the ink spreads and smears, as opposed to old fountain pen ink with the nib, where you basically could just blow on it and be done. The old school ballpoint pens did horrible things on the paper, and it don't stick as well. The ink just does not soak in the paper, so it just doesn't keep the fine lines.
William says, what I said about handwriting sounds like dysgraphia. I can't read the notes. I take moments after I write them. My wife has dysgraphia, a mild form of it. And so she has that kind of problem. She has trouble reading the written word. And I don't have dysgraphia. I just have really terrible handwriting.
Yeah, I know what the words are supposed to look like. It doesn't mean my stupid freaking fingers can do it. You know, they're just so dumb. My mom was like, "You need to practice your handwriting." This was back when I was like 13. So I tried it and they got me a book and everything else. And she was like, "You're just
Oh,
hopeless."
I needed somebody to go out and find you one of those Big Chief notebooks with the cursive bar on there so you can write on that.
Yeah, that doesn't work. My hands are so stupid. There's just oof. Oh my God.
I
My
wonder if
hand.
Big Chief even exists anymore.
Yeah.
Did I just mention something from the past that everybody that's like a millennial goes, what?
I'm not sure there are that many Gen Xers who know what that is, to be honest, because I don't think Big Chief was very popular back when I was in school.
Big Chief made all the damn notebooks, it seemed like back then.
Back for you, maybe. By the time I got there, we'd already switched to the yellow pads, pretty much.
Oh man, yellow
the
pads would have been
composition
nice. I like yellow pads. Big Chief, not so much.
See, cursive ruined cursive by being the writing version of a drunk guy slurring his words.
I agree with this sentiment.
Oh, but it's so much faster than block lettering. So much freaking faster. So much faster to write and read.
Now I just need to take audio notes. Instead of thinking I just need to turn my phone on and go, audio note.
Audio note. Please tell me where the nearest. I need to go research Big Chief notebooks and see if anybody's got the last final supply in the world. I can see this now.
I check an audio note in the morning, and all I hear is "fuck you." That'd be what's recorded on it. I'll be like, "What the hell does that mean? Why am I cussing myself out?"
See, now I've got this terrible vision in my head of Zombieland. Only it's you trying to find the last big Red Chief notebook in the world. Oh God, that just sounds so bad. I've kind of heard of Big Chief. You know, the only reason I know Big Chief is I think because Stephen King has mentioned it more than once in his books. I think that's the only reason I know what Big Chief is.
You can still find them on Amazon.
Oh, you can. So the company still exists, or
it says it's original, so maybe.
Maybe?
And there's one. Is that the one for the handwriting? Oh yes, there's one with handwriting. Woo! They still sell those, buddy.
Oh my God. Oh Lord. Trapper Keeper for the win.
I had one of those. Oh my God. I even had the 4-color pen. I was like, woo, buddy, look at me. I'm styling.
Oh, the clickety click clack. Oh my God. Oh God. These are all horrible memories. I demand we stop this nostalgia shit show. God.
I haven't thought about things from that part of my life in a long time.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. You blocked it all out. Kind of like I did. I just remember everybody doodling on their binders, and then you had to make the the paper bag book covers to keep the textbook from getting fried, and they find you if you didn't do it and talk nasty things about you. So then everybody decorated them to hell and gone. Then you got in trouble for what you decorated it with. I mean, there's so many fucking rules. Just never ended. Just never ended. Sad. Ugh. What else do you know, Terry?
I know that my microphone just went away. Come back here.
Uh-oh.
You know who this is?
That's trouble. Hint, it's not Screamer.
Little girl is grumpy.
Evidently. Of course, we went to school back when there were such things as textbooks.
We went to school when science was a thing.
Yeah, don't even get me started on that shit. Cats hate you. Get a doggo, Terry.
Yeah, I'll stick with the cats.
Yeah. You probably should. I'm pretty sure as long as I'm a creator, I'm going to have a cat no matter what. Because I don't know. My companion. What am I going to do?
It got really dark where you are, Paul.
I know the clouds just kind of keep moving
Is the
around.
asteroid coming in closer now? You're about to be obliterated?
Oh, that would make my day. Actually, that would kind of make my life. As a matter of fact, that would be good. Yes, and
It's like a dwarf planet. And if you've ever seen JR in person, he's kind of like a dwarf too. Just a little
oh,
bit.
oh, oh,
Okay, maybe not. I made
oh,
that part up.
oh, damn. That's just mean. Oh God. I remember the computer science class had one computer in the room. Oh my God.
I remember when the computer science class was restricted because they only had a couple of computers in there, and you had to be a high honor student to even be in the computer class.
I didn't know they had computers back in the days of punch cards. I didn't know you could get those in elementary schools.
I went to school after the days of punch cards, but it was when they started bringing the apples in.
Yeah. Yep. I already had an Apple IIc at home by the time I was doing computer science or math.
And now we just can't exterminate the damn things. They're everywhere, like roaches.
Pretty much, yeah. Who else remembers the Oregon Trail? Pretty much everybody. Gen X, anyway.
Dysentery.
Yes, you've died of dysentery. You've died of Terry. He's not been disinterred. Oh, yeah, this is true. Hello, 911 just witnessed a murder. J.R. Hanley. No, he's not already dead in this timeline. If you have to preface it with that, that's bad. Oh, yeah. Chris says he remembers the Commodore PET. Yeah, I'll go further back than that. How about the Wang, the first Wang luggable?
The first personal computer that I owned myself was a Commodore.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Commodore 24? Was that what it was?
Commodore 64.
Yeah, it was a 64. That's it. It's been so long. It had a tape drive with a cassette.
Yeah, with a cassette. Those were the days. Ever put one of those in actual stereo and listen to it? Some banging tunes, man.
I bought a Commodore 120, 128, but it came with one of the keys sideways on it. And I returned it, just never bought another one. Somehow it gotten installed sideways.
How the hell does that even happen?
I'm not even sure.
Oh my God.
But I didn't have the money to really spend on it, so I returned it and didn't buy another one.
Probably a good plan. I shouldn't say that. I never had a Commodore. I only had Apple, except for my dad's work PC, which I was always on to. Acorn Electron. Oh my God. When we went to England when I was 13, or it's just about turned 13. We met some folks who Dad had done business with, and we hung out with their kids. And it was the first time I'd seen a God. What was the popular computer in England at that time? I can't remember what it was. It wasn't sold in the U.S. They tried to make a U.S. model, but it died horribly. And I can't remember what the name of maybe it was an Acorn. Maybe it was an Acorn. It sounds right. It could be wrong. I don't know.
Z80 processor?
Z80. Yeah. There you go. The Z80. Yeah. The Z80. It was creepy. Looking at it, was like, what the hell is this? This doesn't look like anything we have.
And before, I act like I knew that. That was Chuck said that in the chat. So
yeah, I know.
Chuck is the knowledgeable one.
Chuck is the
me.
knowledgeable one. Yeah, there you go. Z80. Yeah. Holy crap. Oh, thanks. It's terrifying. It really is.
Book 15. You mean I need to have the audible of the book that I have not yet written? Because that's where the audible is, because I haven't written the book.
Maybe you went 14.
The audible's done for book 14, but 15 has not been written. I haven't had time to get to it with trying to keep The Last Hunter fed.
Oh, yeah. How's that going?
It's good. Book 3 comes out tomorrow. Book 4 is halfway written.
Excellent.
My mortgage thanks me.
Yeah, your mortgage thanks you, I'm sure. So still no timeline on when you're going to get back to Empire of Bones then.
I've got to build up a little bit of padding because I've got to work it in while keeping the other release schedule nominal.
Right. Have
The
you guys
release schedule on the Last Hunter series is coming out to about one book every 2 months. So there's time if I can go ahead and do it, but it's going to be a couple of weeks if I can write fast enough when I'm doing the other book.
every 2 months?
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
And I'm keeping that schedule. I'm managing to keep that schedule. But if I want to write the next Empire book, I need to write it a little faster. And that's why I run into problems with scheduling, is because I've got pressures. I want to do this other, but I would be an idiot not to feed the series that is making lots of money.
Right. Yeah. And I'm kind of in that same mess in a way, to a certain degree, because there's other things I want to be writing, but I have to chase the moneymaker right now and get to those when I can. But I have 3 books. I have Evolution, which is going to have to be inspected with a fine-tooth comb. I got some stuff to finish or fix in Outbreak that I know of. And then when Oceania is done, I'm going to have to go through and delouse it. And I still have to write Extinction. That's
Just
gonna
don't delouse it, just degauss it.
Degauss it. No, it needs to be deloused in some places. Trust me. I need to find a better way.
I wish I had time to write more on the serial that I was doing for Bella. That ain't happening. It's just never made any money for me at all. I'm still getting bonuses on it though.
That's so
which
creepy.
Is frightening. Which is very frightening.
That's really strange. Well, yeah, we talked about that. It just goes to show just how broken the platform is at this point, or the program, I guess.
I know that Chris Moody, who's in the audience right now, has a Vela that he's working on. I have no idea how well it's doing for him, but I've only heard of a few people doing well on Vela, and everybody else is like, "Where's the readers? Where's the readers?"
Yeah. And everybody I've talked to about Vela is like, that's too expensive.
I went ahead and spent the money and bought 1,500 tokens. I haven't read a damn thing.
Yikes.
I have one of those things, time. Who's got time?
I finished, you brought up reading, so I'm gonna skits out here. I think I mentioned this a while back. Alan Baxter's The Gulp, which is like 5 crazy Lovecraftian type stories set in rural Australia with some really weird shit going on. Hillbilly Australians to a certain extent. Well, he wrote a follow-up because of how well The Gulp did, called The Fall. And The Fall pretty much closes off all the threads that were opened up in the first collection of stories, and did it really well. And then I finished it and I was pissed. And then I read the afterword, and Alan promised he's going to write more. So I wasn't going to fly to Australia and kick him in the nuts. But I highly recommend those 2 books. And right now I'm reading Ed Lawrence Bay's End. And I think it may be his first novel, or one of the first few he did. The character grabbed me instantly. It's all told in first person, but the dialogue and the internal dialogue are so good that I want to figure out. I just want to follow it down and see where it goes. So I'm reading again, trying to read 20, 30 minutes a night before I go to sleep. That's helping, I guess. It's all good.
I've got 2 authors in series that I like that have Audible books coming out both July 1st and July 5th. So I've got things on my hit parade that I want to listen to. After my writing day, once I've had dinner, I can spend some time either reading or listening to a book.
Right.
And I do so. But I've got to find a way to find the right balance for producing, because between real life stuff and writing, I need to produce if I want to get that next Empire book out.
Which your fans are going, my book.
It's true. And they're right to be looking for that. But, what are you going to do? When you've got a book with a series with 2 books out that is making as much as the rest of your back catalog together,
mm-hmm.
You don't turn your back on it, because imagine what that's going to be like when you've got 8 or 10 books in that series.
I had to do one of the hardest things I've ever done, and that was on the 15th. I took down every podcast every YouTube video for the black. They're all gone.
How many minutes was it before someone sent you an email going, I can't find the black anywhere?
I haven't had that issue because I prepped everybody like 2 weeks before I did it, before I yanked the rug out. What I did have was people go, how do I get Evolution? Can I buy it? And I said, no, but if you join Patreon, it's there. And they were like, oh, I can join Patreon to get that. Yes, you can. How many times have I said it? You're good to go.
I may need this explained to me.
Don't know about
no, wait a minute. I'm not sure that I really want to know yet. I don't know.
I believe he's saying if you drank a milkshake, he doesn't know how that would do, but if you drank an M2 black shake,
okay,
you lose weight immediately.
That's a lot better than some of the places my mind was going. I wasn't sure what he was recommending there.
Black tar, chocolate, something along those lines. I don't know. I can see where you got that. Oh, no. JR wants to know when you're killing off Kelsey so Jared can be the reigning champ.
Maybe I should.
Why reigning champ?
Book 15. Book 15. Kill Jared. Got it.
Why is there a reigning champ? They're not at war with one another. I mean, I don't.
Speaking of weird asides that has nothing to do with that, to help socialize the kittens when I'm not in the room at night, I'll go ahead and start the smart device reading Empire of Bones to them before I go to bed. So they get to hear more of Veronica than they do of me.
Oh boy. JR, there is no disagreement.
There is some disagreement. Only if you count JR disagreeing with everyone else.
Yeah, because that's what he does. There's no disagreement
JR,
who the main character
I hate
is.
to tell you this, this is a very parallel situation to, say, assholes. If you run into an asshole, you've run into an asshole. If you run into assholes all day, you're the asshole. So this is not quite the same thing, but no, there's some similarities here.
JR's constant troll. Well, we said the word asshole, and suddenly the sun came out. Oh. It's really been that kind of day.
Oh, crap.
Oh, man. So, yeah, I'm going to be stuck with the black, writing the black, probably through all of next year. Unless, well, that may not be true, though. No, that shouldn't be true. Shit, I can finish Oceania and Extinction this year. Fuck, who am I kidding? I can do that this year. Well, I think I say that.
If I can get into a rhythm where I'm doing what I need to do, I think I can make it happen. But gosh, starting it up to get to that rhythm is tough. And considering that I'm already producing to the point where I'm writing and producing six novels in a year, and I want to try to shoehorn one or two more into that. That's a lot of writing.
That's insane. That's insane. Drew says if you run into assholes all day, either you're the asshole or you work retail. That is true.
That's truth.
I said I could probably.
Or you're a vegan cyclist.
I say I can probably get those two books done, but I don't know how long Extinction's going to be yet.
Here's a clue: twice as long as you think.
Oh, that would be almost a 300,000 word book.
You're one of those people that you say this is what it's going to be, and then you need to add tack on 30% because that's what's going to happen. It really is.
I'm so afraid of boring the shit out of the audience with all the shenanigans that keep coming into my mind about what to do, because there's things I want to do with them too. If you're a patron of mine and you've been checking out Oceania, I think you're getting an inkling of what I have planned. You should at least get some tingles going. I think I might know where Paul is going with this, and it's going to be bad. Yes, it's going to be bad. But I have so many threads to wind up, so many characters to take care of as far as giving them their sunset, whatever that is. We have to see them go off into wherever it is they're going. and other things I have to tie up that I don't know how big this is going to be, because I'm also going to have to introduce new characters. Because there are so many things I have to set up that I'm going to be dealing with probably 3 strains of M2. At least 2, maybe 3. Don't know yet.
So that would be M2.1, M2.2, and M2.3?
No. I'll have different names for them, trust me. I've already got the name for one. I don't know what the other one's going to be yet, but or what nickname I'm going to give it. So there's a lot of shenanigans that goes there, but then there's because it's the last book, I have to pull out every stop there is. We have to go balls to the wall. There can't be any shred of question left about anything apart from where this goddamn creature came from or what it is. Get the same thing work. Director asked me why I always seem to come in with 3 times the estimate than anyone else, and turns out to be right more often than not. Yes. When I worked in software and they said date, I always gave it 3 times as far, and then they would demur and yell at me and tell me I'm a slacker, and I said okay, I would cut it down to twice. And mostly we were able to make it work. 3 times was mainly to give them the idea that I'm not real confident about how long this is going to take. Variant names are bad, screwed, and fucked. Bad M2, screwed M2. Yeah. That is an issue I'm going to have to deal with, though, because I have to be able to discern between the creatures, which was kind of a problem in Outbreak, to be honest. Oh, yeah, here we go again.
Yeah.
Does she want to be held this time? No.
Sort of.
Sort of. Maybe. You have a generator outside your house?
Is there a purr going on?
No.
That's the litter robot.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
It is cycling.
So I will finish Oceania by the end of next month. Pretty sure. That's my goal. But if I don't finish it, so what? I still have stuff to do. Oh, well. The A Savior M2, that's on our side and helps track down the bad M2s. No. Survey says no. Bad monkey. I don't know. We'll see. I say I have ideas about where it's going and everything else. I see the end. I don't know how to get there yet. But as far as some portions of it, I have it in my brain, but there's other things I need to figure out. And I think that we're going to have a lot of fun with that. But I think the book 5 is going to be much more eldritch than the other ones have been. So this will be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I just got to get all this other shit done first. Those things are great. If your cat will ever go into it again after it's seen it running.
They do.
Wasn't a problem with Pandora.
It's a delayed thing, so it doesn't go off. Yeah. You can set it between 8 and 15 minutes. And by that time, they've lost track of they being the cause of it doing that.
Yeah, so long as it's not like going off the moment they step in there, I think you're okay.
It's got safety things built into it, so that doesn't happen. If they step into it, it stops.
Wrong one. Matt says, trained M2 is kind of like a drug dog, but it's judge, jury, and executioner. And it also gets rid of the evidence. And then Cthulhu appears and teams up with M2. Yeah, no.
Put down the weapon. You have 10 seconds to comply.
Yeah, tentacles going everywhere. I was working on Oceania today. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably saw some of this nonsense. And I was sitting there writing. I had this playlist going, and suddenly Sade's Taboo comes on. No, you give me the sweetest taboo. And then all of a sudden, in my brain, I saw M2 dancing to the music with his tentacles and proboscis and eye stalks, and it creeped me the shit out. I was laughing my ass off. And then Nine Inch Nails' Get Down, Make Love came on, and that made things even worse.
I'm pretty sure that M2 actually prefers K-pop.
No, because the M2 has taste.
Oh.
I shouldn't say that. I don't think I've ever listened to K-pop outside
I've
of
never
anime.
listened to K-pop, so I have no idea what it is. So yeah,
I have heard baby metal, and that shit's disturbing.
baby metal.
Baby
What the hell
metal.
is baby metal.
You don't know what that is?
No.
Oh, somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the definition of baby metal is you have the singers be girls with really high voices while you have speed metal going on in the background.
Wow.
So
I can hardly envision that.
Oh,
wow.
I will have to send you some videos. But usually the ladies are dancing around doing what they're doing, but they all look like they're 5. And it just maybe because I'm old and everybody looks younger. But yeah, it's an experience. It is an experience. Oh, it's Romeo again. So if you're drinking,
this is Misty.
Oh, it's Missy. Sorry. So many cats. So many cats. So many freaking cats. M2 has taste, kind of like bacon. I've never described what M2 thinks things taste like.
Well, there's something for you to do.
No.
I want to see M2 eat something and then spit it back out. Oh, that's gross. Oh.
What would that be? What would that be? It would have to be something it couldn't consume at all. Ooh.
Make a note to yourself because you're about to use this in something.
Ooh. Well, okay then. M2 asking if anyone has a mint.
One wafer thin mint.
One wafer thin mint. Even M2 wouldn't eat you.
You know, that should be on a t-shirt.
You're so ugly.
Put that up in your swag store.
You're so ugly. Not even M2 would eat you.
Oh, you taste so bad.
I actually thought about putting together an M2 tour shirt with all the locations of the books on there. I have to talk to Pondy about that. I'd love to somehow get that cover on a t-shirt, but that would be god awfully expensive. We all have to come up with something else. But I do also need to sell or get him to put the new logo up for sale as well, because I need shirts. I definitely need to get one of those shirts.
Well, you need to get it done by November.
Oh yeah. I still need to make flight reservations.
If you're going to make cards, you've now gotten your warning. If you're going to have cards, which yes, you should have cards.
Just use your cards, just black out your stuff on there and just write my name in them.
There you go.
It's a cheap way to handle it.
That's a cheap way to handle it.
I don't have any business cards right now. I'm out of everything.
Well, November is what, 4 months off? Something like that?
Yeah.
You've got time. It's 5 months off, but it's early November. So you've got plenty of time to make it happen now. But if you delay a month, you might be risking.
Well, I've got basically all my income from Patreon is pretty much spoken for the next 3 months with all the bills I need to pay for all this artwork that I'm getting done. Although we are on a payment plan, but a lot of that money is going to that. But I'll have to find some shekels to throw that in there because I need.
Luckily, buying business cards is not hideously expensive.
No, it's not. It's not. Unless you're crazy, do the thing like me where I put the books on them, book covers on them.
You know what happens in November, JR. 20 Books Vegas.
I can't wait to see the hookers at the buffet. It should be really fun.
Well, it is all you can eat.
Oh, damn. I knew I shouldn't have gone there because I knew you were going to go somewhere bad with it. I just knew it.
I blame you for my retort.
Oh my God, I've been retorted. Terry's always retorted. Oh, wow, Lucas. I like that one. Hated Dead Space 3. Read Pauline Cooley's books instead. Score! Oops. Oh. Yeah, that was bad. Oh, man. Oh. Yeah, I have no idea what to expect in November. I am so incapable of really imagining going anywhere with that many people at this point in time. Just because I've been a hermit for so long.
It's going to be fun.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I may even, my wife has been talking about, gifting me a bump up to taking business class or whatever, first class, whatever they call it. So I may have to drive up to your neighborhood, the woods, and take it out of the main airport to the Southwest.
It's not that far. It's not that long of a flight, is it?
Well, it's like my leg room. When we fly together, she's disabled, so she gets to get in first. I can get in that front row where I have some leg room.
You. So what you're telling me is you're fucking spoiled. That's what you're telling
spoiled.
me.
That's
You're
exactly
spoiled.
what I'm saying. But she offered without me prompting. I would have taken whatever, but she said, let me step back. She's flying to Colorado to spend some time with her youngest daughter because of some issues that are going in there that her daughter would like to have her there for. So she looked and bought airfare for herself and bumped herself up to first class. And she said it wasn't that much, really, all things considered. It's like $400 or $500 to an already expensive, airline ticket. And I was like, that considering that's not a whole lot for that leg room and not being crunched up sideways and whatnot. I could
come
deal with
on,
that.
everybody loves to be crunched up sideways, especially when you fly Lufthansa. Or was it Lufthansa? No, it was KLM. Was going on during the height of the Iraq, our second wonderful misadventure in Iraq. And so they put me on a row with the two biggest guys I've ever fucking seen. And this was a KLM old school 747. So the seats were all crammed together. And these two big sons of bitches were headed over, they were KBR contractors, and they were headed to fly to Iraq from Amsterdam. And we were not comfortable. I was halfway out in the aisle, and my left elbow is the one that had surgery on it. And the flight attendant just almost practically went out of her way to smack my elbow with the cart. It was horrible. It was just awful. Oh. Yeah, I was traveling for work. They don't believe in business class, not for schmucks like me. The Cop and the Blob remake didn't like being crushed up sideways. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Everybody loves being crushed up sideways if it's by the Blob. Well, I'm glad to see that that's working because, I do love the survival horror stuff. I love those kinds of environments and games and everything else. And that's what I'm kind of going for. And the Black is the one that takes place here and now, but there's going to be a lot more crazy shit and setting for our future. I can guarantee you that. Because I've been bitten by the bug now. I got all sorts of plans. Plus, you guys keep clamoring for M2 in space. And I've figured out how to make that happen. I have figured out how to make that happen.
M2 in space.
I can't wait to make that YouTube promo. We're going to have to sing it just like that. I need like a movie contract so I can hire some 3D animators to go do like a 3-minute animated video of the Black just doing crazy shit while it's dancing and singing about eating people. I think that would just be so fantastic. Just like do it anime style. I think it'd be beautiful. Yeah, because I need something else to do. Let me tell you, because my dance card's not full enough. But yeah. One thing that's cool about taking M2 out of labs and hospitals and putting it into an environment where it has free control is I have carte blanche to do whatever the fuck I want because we've never crossed that before. So I'm going kind of crazy. I'm loving it. Wouldn't M2 eat through the hull of the ship and create a vacuum? If it wanted to. If it wanted to. Oh, no. No, we're not doing that. There will be no M2 musical. No, we're not going there. That's not happening.
Ooh, M2 the musical.
Oh, my God. I can't even fathom how horrible that would be. But yes, I do want to write that kind of stuff. My question is, what does Terry want to write after he gets done with his Hunter series and puts Empire of Bones to sleep?
I don't know. That's not many years, but that's years in the future. I still have Imperial Marines that I need to write some books on. I've got too many irons in the fire.
Yes, you do. Yeah, I've got Signal Decay, which I'm still going back to and writing on every now and then when I want to. And then I've got Gravity's Bane, which I need to get working on, which would be the second leg of Soul and Beyond. The hills are alive with the sound of screaming. See, I can do that.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I'll do the male parts. Though this sounds wrong. I will
tell us, Paul. How are you going to do the male
I will
parts?
sing the male parts. You can sing Julie Andrews' parts there. How about that? Running for your life in song form. Oh, man. There's so many bad. No, we're not doing Derelict Saga the musical. Come on. Oh, that would be, well, I can't imagine how horrible that would be. You know,
personally, I think that if you're going to have a musical that involves M2 or the Black, whatever, you need to go ahead and let the bodies hit the floor, be playing somewhere in the background when something awful happens.
Don't hit the floor.
It's the thought of the matter. It's the thought that counts.
Oh boy. Interpretive dance. No. Not at all. Oh, I would love this. You can just see a Black game where you play as the Black ladders and platform type puzzler. There actually is a game that came out not too long ago, which is exactly that. You are the creature trying to escape and eat all the scientists, and I can't remember what it's called. I'll have to look it up. I think I have it actually. I can't remember what it's called, but it was fantastic. Yeah, Carrion. Thank you, Lucas. No, interpretive disembowelment. You guys are more twisted than I am. Yeah, go check out Carry On or go look it up in a playthrough. It is amazingly cute for what it is. It's got a pretty good soundtrack and it's got some really funny stuff going on. So yeah, I kind of recommend it. It's some fun. Played Let the Bodies Hit the Floor before missions in Iraq. Yeah, really good for the Zen moments. Okay, I'll take your word for it. I can see that though. Oh yeah, don't eat spaghetti while watching playthrough. Speaking of, for those of you that have Shudder, they just released Phil Tippett's Mad God, which apparently has been they've been working on for 18 years on this movie. It's all miniatures, film stop motion. It is amazing. It looks like animation. But there are a couple of humans that wander in and out of things, but it is absolutely insane. It's like you're on an acid trip and you are literally walking through hell. It's absolutely crazy. It's got a lot of gore. It's got a lot of really terrifying imagery, very disturbing. And I highly recommend it because it is beautiful, terrible, And it is a journey just through wild, crazy shit. There's no dialogue, none. So everything is music and noises. But once I saw like the first like 2 minutes of it, I was just lost. It was great. Actually, I think Phil Tippett did their stop motion animation, but I could be wrong. Yes, it's like Stinkfist. I can't believe I said that on the air. It's like Stinkfist, the animation in Stinkfist, or
Stinky
in
Finger,
or in Prison Sex, or in whatever the other one is. It's just it's beautiful, just wonderful, just wonderful. So if you have a chance on Shudder, they have actually some good stuff on there. You should go do the free month or whatever, and then go watch that just for that, because it is crazy. Oh, Mad God. And the director, creator, writer, whatever you want to call him, his name Phil Tippett. I think it's Phil Tippett. It's Tippett. I know that much, but it was good. It was really good. Highly recommend it. Oh, I may have to write it again. Oh, come on. No. Lucas says, I do prefer a good old Stinkfist. Paulie Cooley 2022. I did not say that. Well, shit, I just did. You're welcome for the recommendation. And while you're there, watch Color Out of Space, the Nick Cage version, because it's only available on Shudder too, I think. So just get your free month of Shudder and go check out the crazy on there. They got some good stuff.
Nick Cage, he had a movie come out recently where he played himself.
I know. I did not watch it.
It's got good reviews. My wife and I are going to watch it when it pops up on streaming.
Even in Color Out of Space, he was just so far over the top. I mean, that's just what he does. Every movie is Nick Cage, but it works. Yeah, Color Out of Space is an updated version of the Lovecraft story, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, this chair has been beat to heck. Every cat that could do their claws on it has indeed done so.
Yeah, pretty much. I when I first saw Terry's chair way back, and this is a long time before YouTube. When I first saw his chair, I was like, "What in the effing hell?" And this was years and years ago. It has only gotten worse. It just never gets better.
Why would I spend money on another chair? It works. Who's seeing this chair? Well, it used to just be me. Now it's everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, but I have no shame, so I'm all right with that.
Yeah. I haven't seen that one. Bangkok Dangerous. I haven't seen it. Yeah, he can be a good actor. It's just a lot of the stuff he's been doing lately is so cheeseball, but it's not even his fault. The scripts are bad. They're terrible. Which makes me wonder why the fuck he's doing them. But
look at that. I went ahead and showed the chair and we lost 2 viewers. Oh, look at this low rent. We're out of here.
See, this is why I also have a secret lab chair. Because they're awesome. Expensive, but they'll last forever. 10-year warranty. She's pissed at you.
She says, why are you holding me? I don't want it.
Any second now, the viewer count's going to go to 0.
It's like cat hair.
Oh my God. I have a chair at home made out of the passenger seat of a Saturn Ion bolted to a wood platform. We don't chair shame here. What the fuck is wrong with you? Holy shit. Yeah, go look at Secret Lab. They make really good stuff. Technically, it's a gaming chair, and everybody goes, ew, why do you have it as a gaming chair? Because they're made to sit in 14 hours a day without moving. They're fantastic. Redneck awesome. That's the word I was looking for. Redneck awesome. Oh man, that's a good term for it. We've been babbling for an hour and 34 minutes. Y'all got any questions for us? Is there something y'all want to
Yeah,
talk about?
enough of us talking about my chair. Let's talk about what you want to talk about.
Yeah, is there something y'all want to babble about besides chairs? Oh yeah. Good point, Lucas. Watching a trailer for the Callisto Protocol had me sketching and writing a prison horror story with monsters. Yes. If you don't know what the Callisto Protocol is, it's a new game being created by the folks who did the original Dead Space, and I've seen some of I've seen the trailers, and the updated trailers, freaking incredible. But I've seen also watched the gameplay for it while they're finishing it up. Heard the parts of the soundtrack, and heard the director talk about how they wanted to make it infinitely more scary and more replayable than Dead Space. And it immediately had me by the throat. It is just going to be a terrifying game. I can't wait. It'll be awesome. Oh. Let's deal with your signed books, Paul. Is that Patreon only? No. Just patrons first. That's the question we've been asking for a long time. How long till Amazon kills off Vela?
I keep looking at how many people say that they don't do anything on Vela, and I just can't imagine it being dragged on for more than another year or two, because they're going to look at it eventually and say, it's not picking up. Time to cut and run.
Yeah, at this point, it can't be making any kind of profit. There's no way. It's got to be pretty deep in the red. Pretty damn deep in the red. Man, I just don't know.
Now, I like the follow-up to that. Depends on how you consider serials. Oh, here's his answer.
Yeah, that. But see, yes, okay. Max
but
says
is Wattpad something they would make money on?
And more importantly, would they not fuck it up like they fucked up everything else they've touched? They're as bad as Microsoft. Every time they pick something up, they screw it up. So, yeah. But that's a good point. That's what I thought too. Is why would you go reinvent the wheel when you could just why not just make a partnership with Wattpad? For crying out loud, let Wattpad do what Wattpad does. You just supply them with an API, and they supply you with an API, and everybody's cool, right?
Because Amazon wants to make money at this, and honestly, I'm not sure they're going to make it work. I don't know that short form serialized fiction where you're paying per episode is actually going to make them money. I think they've misread the market.
Oh, that's a good point. Podcast suggested that the payment to authors with Wattpad are poor. They probably are. And I guess that's the flip side of this is kind of crazy. I know it's because it's popular and whatnot, and I'll be doing Patreon for a while, and I've been doing podcasting and everything else. But I got quite a few people who joined up just for the Oceania serial, and they're only really getting usually like one chapter a week, but they are getting it in audio form, so it's a better deal. But that is actually making me money without really having to give anybody a significant percentage. So I guess it's kind of working for me. Oh, well, yeah, that's the other thing. Microsoft buys stuff for a reason. That reason usually be, hey, this could be competition. Let's partner up, chum, blam. Yeah. Embrace, extend, extinguish. The original Bill Gates motto. I hate that fucker. Ooh. JR says an author selling a good 200,000 word story only earned a few hundred on it. Yeah, but this is true.
One of the things that I have noticed is there are a number of authors that are doing long serials on places like Royal Road, and then they're selling it as books on Amazon.
Right.
So they're not trying to serialize it for pay. They're selling it for pay after they create it for free.
Right. And in my experience, when one of my podcasts gets to the last like 7 or 8 episodes, that's usually when it'll pick up in sales. So there are people who are throwing money, especially since I don't do commercials. So people are finally getting it through their heads that, hey, he's doing this out of the goodness of his heart. Let's throw some money at him. So that's finally starting to happen because people are also realizing just how bad the commercial shit is. So I think folks are starting to kind of realize that. And so they seem to be less hesitant about throwing money in the tip jar. Not all of them join up as patrons or whatever else, but there was one gentleman who sent me an email telling me that he had just broken his back and discovered the Derelict Saga and loved it, and because he had nothing to do, and that kept him completely focused on that, and he threw $30 at me. That I didn't
good, you know.
That I didn't have to share that shit with anybody except for buy me a coffee. That was wonderful. It was great. So I think that there is a market for that. It's not making the money on the serial. The serial is the PR. The serial is the advertising. The serial is every part of getting somebody into the book. However, I'm trying to do it in such a way that if I'm doing a serial like with Station 3 right now, the book's already there. It's already ready. They can get it anytime. And I think that's the best way to do it.
It looks like water because it's gin.
We know you're not allowed to drink. We all know that.
It's true.
Wasn't that pretty much how Andy Weir did it with The Martian? Yeah, except didn't he sell it to a big publisher at the end?
Not the first one, no. The first one was his.
Okay. I was never...
Once it hit big, somebody bought it.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That's my understanding.
Oh, it'd be nice.
One of the ways you could do Vela, if you were using it as a tool to write more, if you're going to write the novel anyway, write it and serialize it chapter by chapter, and then once the book is ready to publish, boom, go ahead and make it into a book and publish it the way you normally would.
Yeah, Chris Moody said that at least Vela is keeping him writing.
Yeah, and that's a valid thing to use it for. But if you're going to use Vela to try to make money on it, I think you're in for disappointment.
I will agree that the pressure of the serial keeps you writing. Terry talked about that when he was doing Vela. I've been doing it with Oceania with the patrons. I know that I have to have content. I have to have content for them. They're paying me to create content. So I must create content. So that means I have to write on the story, even if my head is stuck. I still have to write, and I still have to record, and I still have to do all those things. And yes, it keeps me disciplined. It does keep me disciplined on that. Nor should you, Lucas. Lucas says, I will not apologize for ripping off bad stories from video games or films. Never.
I believe that we will now be watching closely to see when the Great Pumpkin appears.
Oh, God. Hopefully nowhere. Yeah, this one. Probably works well for thriller where every chapter end is a cliffhanger. Yes. Because I'm a cliffhanger and son of a bitch. That is
son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. And if you read Station 3 or are listening to it, you know it's going to be bad. There's a cliffhanger every chapter after like chapter 2. Every chapter has a cliffhanger. And yeah, serials work really well for that. And if you think about it, that's what thrillers are anyway. Oh my God. Really?
Look it up.
When was you born?
Google
when was
your
you
friend.
born? That's what I'm going to ask. When was you born? Are they? Why the fangirling of Hans Gruber? What's going on, Harry Potter fans? Somebody wrote that the Wattpad is mostly filled with Harry Potter porn. Is that really a thing, slash fic wise, or are they just mimicking it? Because everybody else is.
I heard one of my author friends, Reich Spoor, mentioned a couple of fan fiction, long pieces of fan fiction that he was a fan of, and one of them was fan fiction in the Harry Potter universe, where basically they're following the same plot along as in the books, but the protagonist is Hermione as opposed to Harry. And Harry's still a strong supporting character, but he's not the lead.
That would be an interesting tale.
I could see it. He said it was very good.
It's the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead.
I love that movie.
It's just instead of Hamlet, it's Harry Potter. Oh God. Planning or discovery writing? Yes.
Discovery, baby.
Yes.
Discovery.
Yes. I do both.
Just put a couple of bullet points of where I think that novel's going to end and then roll with it, baby.
Yeah, I have to do a little bit more than that because of my plots, but there's still, I only outline a few chapters ahead of the time and maybe sometimes just scene names. That's it. Just to remind my brain of where I think I'm going, but that doesn't mean I follow the outline at all.
Now that sounds interesting.
Popular with Jenny as the lead and sorted into Slytherin. Oh, good God.
I think that would actually be pretty damn cool.
Oh, that sounds just like, oh, that sounds bad news. Oh, if there's a famous work, someone has made porn fiction of it. Yeah, this is true. This is very true. Rule 34. Yeah. I'm sure there's M2 porn out there somewhere. I just don't want to know about it.
If there's not any, somebody go ahead and write it right now and send Paul a copy.
Oh, there's a good question. Do you guys go and check to see if your chapter ends, draw the reader forward?
How would you know?
Because I'm a bastard.
No, literally, how would you know? Even if you're using Vela, they don't give you any information of how many people. Well, you can see how many people read that particular chapter, but it doesn't really tell you anything.
Yeah, but I'm not really sure he meant it that way. I am very conscious of how my chapters end. Terry does this too. Whether he'll admit it or not. We've said it many, many times. The beginning of the scene is cleaning up from the last scene. And then at the end, you also want to leave that question. Even if we're going to do this next, the question is, how the fuck are we going to do it?
Actually, that's what I do with novels. The beginning of a novel is cleaning up the previous novel. But I don't do that with chapters.
You don't do that with chapters?
I don't, no, because they're moving forward into a new event. And I switch people at the beginning of each chapter. So it's a step into, okay, I've been watching character A busy doing the thing on the ship. Okay, now B, we're on the ground and we're fighting the aliens.
Right.
So it's not really cleanup. I don't really do chapter cleanup.
But if you were to separate the characters and what they're the plot lines, so those characters, since they are separate, like you were saying, if you were to separate them and you were put all those scenes back to back, would each of those scenes end with a cliffhanger?
No.
Would each of those scenes end with a question?
No.
Why not?
Because sometimes it's not a question that you need to end it with. Sometimes the things that have been brought up imply what's coming next, and the desire to know more makes the page flip.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be so blatant as to be a question or a cliffhanger. Those are great tools, but they can be used to death. And so you've got to be careful about what you're doing with that. Thrillers, you're definitely ending on high stakes at the end of every chapter. Space opera,
not so
maybe
much.
Not so much.
Not so much. If you're doing military science fiction, I can see that because, the whole point of the battles and everything else is, who dies? What happens next?
Like the scene that I just finished writing yesterday, it ends with the characters discovering something that shouldn't be there. But I don't cover what's going to happen in the next chapter because I go to a totally different plot line with people doing something totally different.
Right.
That is also going to have implications in the end. When I'm writing a novel, I've got 2 or 3 major plot threads that all need to come together at the end. And so writing each chapter and scene is feeding each of those plot lines and making sure that they're at about the right speed and point so that everything comes to a head at the end. Do I want to have, something that draws them on? The need to know more. That's what draws them on. That may not work for everybody else, but it works for me.
Try not to make it as blatant, and not all of them are cliffhangers. I would just say that there's always something unresolved at the end of a scene.
Or a new mystery has appeared.
but that's, again, I'm resolved. And that's how I do that, and it seems to work. But I don't even do that intentionally anymore, really. With Station 3, I kind of did, because I formed the scenes in such a way, very consciously, that they would do that because of what I was trying to do, and because I only had a single point of view character. So I needed to make sure that things didn't get dull and things just kept moving. So that's the first time, that may be the first novel I've written that had only one POV character. In fact, I'm absolutely sure it is. I'm absolutely sure it is. It's amazing. Technically, M2 is one whole sex organ. Doesn't matter how it touches you, you're fucked. Yeah, let's not go there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Actually, I'm gonna say this. Don't let it. It's gonna. You know what? Never mind. I'm not even gonna try and.
Oh, just do it already.
So there's an account I follow called buttplug.io.
I don't need to hear anymore. That's all I needed to hear right there. Paul follows buttplug.io. Gotcha.
Buttplug.io, believe it or not, is a Ross style extension for controlling sex toys. Okay. This guy, if you go and look him up and you go look at his intro video, he's like riding a bicycle while all these dildos are slapping him in the face. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, he actually brings up all this news from what they're doing with buttplug.io and the software and everything else. And one of his comments about something they were doing in Japan is like, nobody wants to fuck Siri. What are you on? I didn't even look for the context. I was laughing so freaking hard, but yeah, probably not good. But anyway, one of my readers turned me on to it because he's also a software nut. And yeah, oh my God, It's so funny.
Let me give you a little bit of advice.
Oh no.
A little bit of advice here. If you're going to go ahead and talk about buttplug.io, you should not say that one of your readers turns you on about it.
Okay, all right. That's where you're supposed to not even say that. You should have just said phrasing. So this sounds like Chuck Tingle on LSD. Whoops. Listen to Grandpa Terry. No, I actually retweeted one of his tweets once upon a time, and I got so many questions afterwards. What did this mean? That's great. Oh, cell sample of the black is found, so they clone it to study it. How bad is that for the world? You can't clone it. And it's not.
It'll eat the sheep.
It'll eat the cell. You have to go into book 4 to see that. Maybe.
Speaking of all of that, since we're running out of time, didn't you have something you were going to reveal to those who stayed through the show?
I already did that. I did that while you were messing around.
Did you do that while I was gone?
Yeah.
Man.
I'll do it again, though.
How you are?
There it is, folks. There's the cover again of the Black Trade Paperback 2nd edition.
But did you share the video?
I did not share the video. I will have to do that. All right, so fine. We're doing this weird news things where we're like trying to, have stuff. So let's see if this works. There we go. This is a Station 3 promo. There you go. There.
Yeah, I get to see your spiffy new logo.
Yeah, that's the spiffy new logo. So we have the new logo. It looks like a little creature, and I'll be doing some crazy shit with the eyes because I can. But and at the I have so much video work to do. It's just it's painful, and website work to do, and other work to do, and things like that. So yeah, where am I airing the promo? It's out on YouTube right now. It's up there. I haven't created a promo for the black yet because Fireside is supposed to be putting something together. YouTube video to put on my channel that I can share. So I'll have to see what they're going to do. I did work something up. I'm still kind of messing with it, but it's kind of like the oil rig, only I've got the tentacles kind of folding in, animated wise. But you can't see the very bottom because the screen dimensions. But I'm kind of working a little bit on that, coming back to it every now and then. There's a lot of work I want to do on that kind of stuff. But I definitely want to create a promo for the black that is mine that I can use. There needs to be a Shadow Publications promo as well as a Fireside promo, if you know what I mean. So I need to create like a trailer like that one, to get people back into it. So the scary thing is once you do this long enough, putting stuff together like that doesn't really take all that much time as somebody's got the artwork for you. And it doesn't have to be, that promo, most of that was just titles, not much to it. And then just basically the art of the book at the end of it. But you know what? People like it. Throw some music on it and they say, that's awesome. And then they go, you sold me the book. It's great. Yeah, for what it's worth, most people even on YouTube aren't watching the screen. They're listening in the background. This is true. This is true. A VS novel? I don't even know what a VS is. I already teamed up with Sigler on a novel. We've been there, done that. He's busy doing his own stuff now. Although he's bringing out the Crypt now. I don't remember when that is, but it's coming soon. It's coming soon, I'm pretty sure. I think it's the next one they're putting in. Oh, yeah, the soundtrack was from, what's they call Planet 29 or something like that? 29th Planet, I think is the name of the group that makes those. It's all the stuff
What's
that
Terry... the Humble Bundle stuff?
Yeah.
I think it's Dark Fantasy Studio.
Something like that. Anyway, it's 29th Planet soundtrack or whatever. It's also got some creature noises I thought about using in the Station 3 promo, but I held myself back. Thought that was a bridge too far.
There's a good question. Will there be any more zig and zag in our future? I'm cutting back on the amount of short fiction that I'm writing because I'm writing 6 novels this year. I want to write 7 or 8. Who has time? I don't. That's my problem. I would love to write more short fiction. I just don't see it happening in the near future.
Yeah, I've been invited to a few anthologies, and I just have not really been able to even consider it because of everything that's so much in flux right now, and having to focus on getting these books out, so I can get them done, so I can get them to cleaned up and they're edited and everything else too. I can put that to Fireside. So busy.
He says, can I write a zig and zag novel? Did you miss the part? Or you probably did. You probably came in late, missed the part where I said, I've got too many irons in the fire novel wise, as far as the number of series that I'm doing. It's rough, man. I mean, this is first world problems. Yes, but it's a first world problem that I actually have.
Oh, yikes.
I can't risk a new series that I have no idea what the sales are going to be when I've got a beast to feed that's making money. I've become a crass guy making all about the Benjamins.
I think that's bullshit. Because if that were the case, you would never drifted out. You just stuck with Empire Bones. So I think that's bullshit. I think basically what it comes down to is like, I feel like a sellout because I'm doing what's making money. Why am I not taking risks? Why am I not writing this book or that book? Why haven't I come back to that series? A lot of people are asking me, when are you going to return to Derelict? We got to get the black done first. But Derelict did not make all that much money. It just didn't. So I want to write more of it, but I have to pay some bills first. It's just got to happen. So this is what I'm doing.
I've never felt like a sellout because I'm writing where the money is. That's one of the things that as a full-time author, I can't afford to have that type of feelings.
Yeah.
You got to write with what's putting the money on the table, paying the roof over your head. And so I've never felt one bit of guilt about doing that. What I do feel guilt about is wanting to put more books into other series that I've already committed to, because the readers want to have more content there. But I'm clear in my newsletter, talking to the people that are listening to me, saying, you know, I would love to do it, but I would be an idiot, and here's why. And they're understanding about that. And I personally think that as long as I'm putting out things, they're happy to go, oh, let's go look at this Last Hunter series and see what's going on there.
Yeah. Maybe I'll like it as much as I liked Empire of Bones.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I want to put out, I have all these black books that are going to be re-released. 3 of them I don't really have to do any work on at all. The other 3, but I want to get another book done in between there, just so I don't look like this is all I do. I want to get another book out. Plus, I think I'm going to need a palate cleanser between Oceania and Extinction. But we'll see if that works out. I may have to just roll right into Extinction.
Oh, you know, talking about palate cleansers, that reminds me, I had mentioned that Reichspear was talking about 2 of the fan fictions that he was reading, and we talked about the one. I didn't mention what the other was.
Oh, no.
The other was Harry Dresden goes to the My Little Pony universe.
What?
I know, right?
Who dropped acid? What the fuck?
Apparently it's really good too, according to him, because it's got dark shit going on.
Oh, I'm sure it's got dark. I've never trusted those ponies. They were always creepy as shit, man. Always.
I'll have to go see if I can find the post on Facebook that has that, so that I can paste the names of these stories, because I've now dropped 2 different stories, and I don't want to leave people hanging going, what is this you speak of?
And where can I find it so I too can be horrified by it?
I know, right? You know, it's like a guy, you know, ooh, smell this.
You shake the milk carton and you hear all the chunks in there. Yeah, still got to take a whiff.
That's gross.
Oh, it's disgusting. Oh my God. Oh. I'm not saying I don't want to know more. That's the most fucked up thing I've ever heard. Where can I get it?
This is going to be, I'm going to cut and paste this in there, but I'm sure that it's not going to let me cut and paste it all in one time. So it's going to be probably broken into weird chunks, because that's really how that works. But I'll try that here.
I'm not going to say something like phrasing. Oh my God. Friendship is magic. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, dude, this is sick and wrong. Did I mention this is sick and wrong?
Cut off the last one there, so there's a little bit of a repeat with that. But there we go. That's the entire post. So you can pull the names and the context out of that and go, what?
Because you
All by
really should.
yourself.
After that, you know, it's a good thing I'm going to watch hockey at a bar tonight, because I'm sure they have brain bleach, because I've had it before. So yeah, I'll be using that later this evening to get that.
Right now, all the people in there are going through the chat going, what is this?
What am I reading?
What you're reading is a Facebook post from an author that I follow talking about 2 great fan fictions that he's reading. And since I've mentioned them both, I wanted to post the actual text of the Facebook post so that the context and the names of the stories and the authors are there if anyone wants to go find them themselves.
If they're also crazy.
You know, I'm kind of interested in this Harry Potter remake. You know, that sounds pretty good. Hermione was definitely a better character than Harry Potter.
She was a better wizard. Much better wizard.
She was more of a hero. Well, maybe that's going a little far, but she was very assertive. She was your action hero. Of
yeah,
the Harry
she
Potter
was
universe.
of the three of them. She was the one who could make decisions and made the good ones. No, Oscar and the Ponies is not happening. That is definitely not happening. Never. Free the elves. All right, folks, we should probably cut it out here. So thank you for coming and hanging out with us. As always, if you have a question about the show, comment, whatever, you can send us an email to show@deadrobotsociety.com. You can tweet me at Paul_E_Cooley. You can find me on Mastodon at Paul E. Cooley at mastodon.social. I'm still having problems saying that damn thing. You can also find us at the listeners of the Dead Robot Society Facebook group, where Terry wrangles things. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/DRS podcast. And if we have to thank our wonderful host, pod hoster, makes all 14 bazillion episodes of Dead Robot Society available for your ear holes. And if you'd like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/DRS podcast, where for as little as $1 a month, you can get access to exclusive content like mostly unexpurgated private live shows. That's where Terry and I get that's where we get funky. That's DRS after dark.
That's after dark, where Paul goes even further than talking about buffet hookers in Vegas.
And at the $10 level, you get your name right. Our $10 patrons are Tony L. Joy, Andrew Smallwood, Veronica Chiguer, Rick Shaw, Lisa Slack, and Isabel Cushy. Thank you very much to all of our patrons for supporting the show. Without your hard-earned cash, we would not be able to do this. And now we have one more piece of business to take care of. Terry and I are caffeine junkies. And we get our caffeine exclusively from Corpse Coffee. Visit corpsecoffee.com and get your paws on their wonderful coffees, their collection of boutique teas. Go take a gander at their wonderful webcomic and tell them DRS sent you. Go to corpsecoffee.com and get the dead in your cup. All right. So with that, I think we are going to get out of here. This was a lot of fun. Thanks for showing up and giving us hell. Always great time. And we will talk to you. We do this every third. We do this to the public. We inflict ourselves upon the public every third Saturday of the month.
Every first Saturday of the month, the patrons on Patreon get the live show that you get today. Every third of the month, Saturday of the month, everybody gets it.
Right. So, keep that in mind. We're always around at some point. And with that, we're going to let you get to your fantastic weekend, because I'm a hockey fanatic.